Well, David, thank you for setting aside time to speak today. And I wanted to speak to you because leading into this, you've had obviously a very, very successful trial practice, particularly in trucking. And once COVID hit, it seems like you've adjusted and adapted in a pretty unique way. Could you speak to that?
Sure. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, Michael. A year or so ago, we went paperless, which was the smartest thing we ever did. So that all of our files were, in the computer and we didn't have to have physical files. And so, about a month ago, when things started getting a little rocky, we decided to go ahead and move move our workforce out to their homes and so they could be safe. And so, the way I look at things is pretty simple. I represent people who are seriously injured or killed. And so they have problems before the coronavirus hit. I mean, these folks are struggling. And the coronavirus just made it worse. And so my attitude was, hey, let's hunker down and let's make sure these people are taken care of. And from my perspective, if your law firm can't handle the worst of times, then you got the wrong law firm. I mean, our job is to take care of these people. I didn't say I'll take care of you when they hired me. I didn't say, hey, look, I'll take care of you when things are good. When things are good, no problem, I'll take care of you. I said, we'll take care of you no matter what. No matter what. I don't care how bad things get. We're going to still be in the trenches. They hire us to fight for them, and that's what we do. And so you have to be prepared, and we were prepared. As soon as this thing hit, let's scatter our people. Let's put them out remotely. Let's keep 6 people in our headquarters, and then let's keep pushing for these clients because they deserve it, and they need it.
How's your team adapted?
Really well. We huddle every morning at 10 o'clock and every afternoon at 4 o'clock. And quite frankly, we're getting more work done than I ever would have imagined. I think sometimes people have less interruptions. There are exceptions. There's little kids at home, and so there's people trying to adapt to the work environment and trying to figure out how to work around their children or their spouses. I mean, everybody's kind of hunkered down at home. But the reality is that we're getting a lot done. I think everybody's got laser focused. The first thing I said was, just think how scared you are. I mean, the first thing we want to do is protect our family. The second thing I want to do is protect my workers, my employees, my coworkers, my team. And then lastly, we wanted to protect our clients. And so I said, everybody's scared. So the first thing we need to do is reach out to our clients and call each and every one of them and make sure they understand that we're still working for them. We're here for them. And they can ask any questions. We have our paralegals calling them, our lawyers calling them. And then in addition, we reached out to all the attorneys that refer business to us and the other folks who refer business to us to let them know what was going on. So, I think people are working more efficiently, at least that, and maybe it's just because it's a crisis. And so everybody's really hunkered down and focused on let's help these clients through this time of crisis.
Now, you've been very proactive. Even when you and I last spoke, you said that you've been on the phone constantly, speaking to clients, speaking to other referring lawyers. What is the impact that's had over the last few weeks?
Oh, I mean, people are appreciative. I mean, the thing is that, I've had clients that were nearly in tears because, they were scared. They didn't know what to do or how to turn to it. And they were worried because, again, their lives were turned upside down before the coronavirus, and this just made it worse. And so, we are still, when we're getting cases done, we're settling cases, we're doing depositions, we're doing mediations. And they are so appreciative of the fact that we're still getting things done and we're getting taken care of. Probably the bigger surprise was referring attorneys. We have a large part of my practice is through referrals. And, the first thing we did is, hey, let's start calling after our clients. Let's start calling the people who refer cases to us. And let's let them know we're still working. And that was eye-opening because I was talking to law firms that are basically shut down in some cases. I mean, they just were not paperless. They did not have the ability to work remotely. And they're like, Dave, we're just a small general practice out here in the smaller counties, and we can't do anything now to generate money. And they were so appreciative of the fact that we were still working and that we're giving them updates on their cases. And I think, guys, if you're sticking with people and you're helping people through really tough times, well, those people are going to always remember that.
So then I want to ask you in terms of, you mentioned you guys were prepared when this hit, and some of that was obviously going paperless. Some of that was just investing in the team. But let's say a firm was not prepared. what are some of the things that you feel that they can do now that would be, not only to set them up for success coming out of this, but also to help to mitigate some of the issues at hand?
Yeah, I think that our job as the firm leaders is to succeed no matter what. We can't control the world around us, and so our job is, okay, we got to figure a way to win. Unfortunately, I haven't had to spend a lot of time figuring out how to win in a situation where you're not prepared. I feel sorry for all those people. I really do, because it's harder now. It would be harder if you're sitting at home and your office is shut down and you're not paperless and you don't have the technology. Then you should be spending the time trying to figure out, well, how do you get out of this? Quite frankly, I think that they're behind the eight ball. I think the firms that are proactive, like our firm, I'm no longer dealing with how do I survive this. We're working our inventory, we're calling our clients, we're calling our referral sources. What I'm focusing on is, where do I go from here? What do we do next? How do we come and accelerate out of this so that we have a marketing advantage? I wouldn't wish this thing on anybody, but the reality is it's here and I can't change that. But what I can change is how we react to it. And we are working hard on trying to put together a plan on how do we market out of this as soon as things open back up. But if you're sitting down there, I guess what I would do is, if it was me, I would work. What I do is work. I work around the clock. And so if I wasn't paperless, if I wasn't there, then I would try to figure a way. Most states have allowed law firms to be an essential business. And so if that's true, I would be sitting in my office, working my files, calling my clients, calling my referral sources, scheduling depositions, working my cases. I would be working around the clock so that my clients would know that. And then I would be trying to get to be a point where I could move paperless and move electronically.
And on the other side of that, what do you feel would be some of the mistakes that a firm owner could make right now?
I think that one of the biggest mistakes is just not leading. My employees, they deserve clear leadership. They deserve somebody to be there and lead by example. And I don't really understand. I know a lot of lawyers that are not doing that. I don't understand laying off people. I don't understand. I get it. You have to do what you got to do, and I'm not judging. But my job is to show my clients, show my employees, show my family, show my vendors, show the people who I work with every day that we're okay, and that we're going to lead our way out of this. And I think some of the mistakes you could be making would be, just hunkering down and saying, okay, I'm focusing on today and today only, or hiding my head in the sand, or getting negative, or, that would be really a bad place to be, I think.
And then finally, looking ahead to the future, I know you mentioned that the goal is to, prepare now to accelerate out of this when we do come out of this. But let's look ahead, let's say 6 months from now or more. How do you think things will have changed in the legal landscape?
Well, I think, first of all, things are going to be a lot more efficient. We're skipping some hearings. We're going to be able to do things electronically, which is a good thing. And our relationships are going to be stronger with our clients. Our relationship with with the referring folks, the referring attorneys, will be stronger than what it's ever been. So I think that some things will never go back, and I think that's probably really a good idea, a good thing. I think a lot of other law firms will start moving in the direction of being paperless and working electronically and working remotely. For us, I think that we're there. We're going to tweak it. The first thing we're doing is like, guys, what could we have done better? What could we have done better? And it went smooth. We've been now a month. We came in on a Monday, went completely remote on Tuesday, and we haven't missed a beat. But that was because we had planned ahead. We were prepared for that. And so, but I'm looking at it now saying, okay, guys, what could we have done even better? And what do we want to implement? So if something happens, hell, there's going to be some kind of catastrophic event somewhere down the road. I cherish the good days, but I recognize there are also going to be some bad days. And so how do you prepare for those? And so we're looking, saying, what can we do better? How do we improve things? And then again, how do we accelerate out of this so that when people are trying to pick the right firm or pick a firm, that they think of our law firm?
Yeah, and it sounds like, in this, good businesses have the opportunity to become better businesses, and businesses that were struggling are even more exposed now because, again, like anytime there's any sort of catastrophic event, there's a level of exposure that you see. You find out how good your team is, how good the leadership is, how good the systems are, all those different things that are essentially stress tested during a time like this. So if anything, it's the fact that you guys have not been as negatively impacted just speaks to the level of preparation that went into that. But it's also in the sense that you're already preparing for the next one.
Yeah, I mean, the tough times are never going to last. And so you've got to be prepared for it, and you have to have a positive attitude. And by God, if you can't lead, if you can't take care of your clients in the worst of times, then that's a real problem, in my opinion. If you can't take care of your employees in the worst of time, then that's a problem. I mean, I'm seeing firms around me that are laying off large groups of people. And I'm thinking, oh my God. And then, so I just did a quick video of our people working, and I'd love to let you look at it so you could give me your input. But the whole point of it is, you hired us to take care of you, and we're going to do that. And if I'm a customer in the future and I'm looking out and trying to figure out, well, what firm do I want to hire? Wouldn't you rather hire the firm that worked through the worst times? And that just seems common sense to me. And yet, if I'm seeing firms that are laying people off and laying lawyers off and laying staff off and making the problems worse, why in the world would I hire them?
Awesome. David, thank you, sir. This is incredible.